The other bill that there was a lot of interest in is one to change the curriculum for cosmetology courses from a 1,500-hour course, which is the same number of hours for barber licensing, to 1,000 hours. And so that would be a significant change in the curriculum and would require some adjustments, a lot of adjustments subsequent to that. So it will go from the House, assuming that it passes the House floor, it will go to the Senate for a committee hearing, just like it did on the House side. That would happen several days, so probably not this week, but the following week it could be in Senate committee, and then it would go to the Senate floor. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about the process.
Well, so my question is, as a board, I know that we present information when asked, are we able to pass a resolution that states that we believe 1,500 is the correct amount of hours for our curriculum? Is that something that we can do as a board, or?
Yes, that is something that you could provide information to the board, and whatever the basis of that information is, whether it's around the textbooks or the national exam, or based upon what other states have. I think Kiwan has put together some of that data to be able, she put together a bunch of information to be able to give information to the legislature who did testify on the bills.
I emailed all of them also.
Okay, and then if she emailed it to you all, then you all would have that information as well. And that can all be presented to the members of the House, or that's where it is now in the House chamber, or the Senate committee members who travels it.
Okay. Well, the reason, so I'm asking because we kept hearing, well, the board hasn't had an opportunity to discuss. Here we are. We should discuss if there's something else that we need to be doing. I know we're all working separately, independently, as in our other roles, but I'm just wondering, as a board, is there anything else that we should be doing to protect ourselves?
Well, my question is, so they wanted 1,000, if they come back and amend it and they want to come at us with 1,200 hours, we need to make sure we all stand together, because I have a feeling that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we all need to be prepared to stand our ground, because it's important.
Yeah, the information I received that was floated last time, and everybody stood firm. So 15 is the number.
What are the motivations for going down to 1,000?
It's a good question.
It's a very good question.
They're doing it throughout the nation.
Yeah.
Because they can't keep people in their salons.
But I don't think it's something that and I don't think that it's something that we can do. I mean, this wasn't done by, it was done strategically, in my opinion. We had a board meeting, and 2 or 3 days later, it was done. So we didn't have a chance to discuss it. Now today, we're in a board meeting, it's at the House. So again, there's nothing we can do, it's at the House. It's gonna go next week to the Senate. I mean, there's nothing we can do. I'm not gonna say, it's kind of like, it's on its way. It's kind of like all we can do at this point is react. Am I wrong?
It was not a piece of legislation that was put forth by the board. It was put forth by some other interests. The stated reasons were that it's not, that amount of training is not necessary. It would lower the cost of education. It would get people in jobs faster. Those are the reasons that have been stated on the record. But like I said, you can look at
with not adequate skills. Correct.
Yeah. You can look at the testimony, all the testimony that was presented to the legislators that made the decision to move it forward.
Do they say which parts were not necessary? What are they? No. Or the 500 hours? They're just saying reduce it, deal with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So, my big question was, if Sports Clips caters to men's haircuts, only men's haircuts, they do no chemical services, they do no nails, they do no waxing, none of that. why is cosmetology license under attack and not barber license?
That's Barbara.
That's barber, you know? And I know they cover the same thing, but most barber shops cut hair. And that's
Because they want women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then at this point, only thing we can do is to continue to do what we have been doing, and then
Reaching out
And
to
I
your
think,
senators,
like-
representatives, and anyone you think you can get to.
I think,
So
didn't we
it-
like decide on Kiwan for the previous, like the alternative hair design and the braiding thing? Can't we have a representative go on our behalf to speak as a representative of the board that we are not in favor of that? Like, you're not gonna have the opportunity at this point
you
anymore.
can't,
The
you
board
can't,
can.
go ahead.
So at the House, in a committee hearing, you do have the ability to present information, to speak and address the committee, but on the House floor, you do not.
So we're done,
because-
like, that's what I'm saying, we don't have,
Today, we're done.
that's what I'm saying, so at this point, we can't do anything anymore.
Yes, you
Well,
can.
you can next
Yes, you
one.
can.
The next
You
one
do
you can.
something today. Every single person can show up and fill out a card to every single representative to oppose and be against this bill. I have done extensive work on this in the last week. I've dedicated myself to
Erin, no,
that.
I understand, I'm saying like,
I guess the question is, why can't we as a board stand behind and represent as a board? Why can't we fight for our
Right,
schools,
you're
our salons, our
absolutely
schools?
correct.
But y'all could go as professionals
But why don't we-
regardless.
But I'm not talking
I need
about
that
us as
clarified. Why
professionals.
can't the board stand
So
behind?
the board is the regulatory agency that carries out the laws of the legislature, so can't take a position, can't lobby the legislature. You can't spend public funds to do that, but you can provide information, and if the do other states have 1,000 hours? Do the other states that have 1,000 hours have the same scope of practice in their license? Because there are states that have less hours, but the licenses are not compatible. They might be a different scope of practice. So that sort of information, and I think that Kiwan did put that together for you all so that you would be able to explain, because the licenses in every state are not the same scope of practice. Some states do have a hair cutting license. Some states do have other specialty licenses that this state doesn't have. So that type of information can certainly be conveyed. With respect to a bill on the floor, you can only convey that to an individual legislator. No one can go to the floor and give testimony. All the testimony that will be given on the bill will be by the legislators, the House members. But certainly, everybody on this board can individually express their concerns to legislators. And then when it goes to the Senate committee, it's very much like the House committee. There'll be a presentation by the author of the bill. Anybody in the audience can put in cards, and the agency can at that time give information. And I believe the board sent representatives to the House committee and do so at the
We'll
Senate
do so
committee
at
as well.
Senate committee as well.
At the Senate committee, at the House committee, when it came to reducing the hours, that bill, they made it appear as if the board had no clue, had no input, and almost as if they were just, didn't care.
That's what the opposition wants
That's
it
the way
to
it
seem
was
like.
presented.
Right, so
The
board had
we
no
do-
opinion.
and interpreted.
Yes.
They
And
wouldn't let
so-
me speak. They said that they lost my card.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They didn't let us speak.
they wouldn't let
It was
us
a
speak.
lengthy meeting
They also
at which the other bill
consolidated.
could be addressed.
They consolidated, only 3 people were able to speak on behalf or against it.
So for the Senate committee, that may be in the next 2 weeks, is what you said? Can
Next week.
we get ready for that? Because we won't have this opportunity. So,
Right.
okay, today, you don't have anything but your voice,
Yeah.
but shouldn't we prepare for the next
Yes.
piece and
Yes.
say, as a board, we are coming here to say these things because we know schools believe these things? You don't have to say, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
You say, these are what schools are saying.
Right.
And somebody in authority
Facts.
says, passing that information as the board means something than our voice by ourselves. Makes sense?
And we all know that power is in numbers. So to have the board show up
with us there, I believe would,
Be impactful.
I also personally think that the information coming from students, instructors,
sure.
people who
Salon
don't
owners.
have
I've had
a vested interest, like I think a
emails
school owner
as
is gonna
well.
look like it's coming from a place of
Financial
Revenue.
financial gain, a monetary gain. It doesn't, if.
And actually,
it's-
going down to 1,000 hours, if you do the math and what they've done in other states, going down to 1,000 hours is actually more financially, it's financially beneficial to the schools to go down. Because they're not gonna go down in tuition by the same percentage, 33%. They're not gonna go down the same, but their hourly rate is gonna go up, and then they're gonna be able to start more students in the time frame. So if it was really about making money, we would all be right in behind it. We would all be for it because we would be able to make more money, but that's not our goal. Our goal is not about making more money, our goal is making sure the students are prepared. And the 1,500 hours gets them prepared, whereas going down to 1,000 hours, they're not prepared. I mean, we could make more money, yeah, but
At what cost?
yeah, at what cost? It's gonna hurt the industry, and that's not our goal, is not to hurt the industry, but to prepare them and protect the industry. So, but I do understand that it's been presented as if we're money hungry, when we actually are not. If we were money hungry, we would be behind this bill 100%. But none of us are.
Right.
And not at 1,200, neither are we at 1,200, so.
So the strategy moving forward is that the board will be prepared to have representation at the Senate hearing. And then, if necessary, if,
If it passes
Yeah,
today.
probably.
right,
Hopefully
hopefully
it
that
doesn't.
would be a moot point. And then otherwise, we will all continue to work in tandem with doing what we've been doing collectively.
I know it's scheduled today on the House floor. Sometimes they get passed over, so it might not actually be today. It could be any day subsequent if they don't get to it. It just depends upon what other things might take precedent. But it is possibly on the floor today, no guarantees.
Well, I'd just like to state that we were present for the House Commerce Committee. The board was present there. They did not call us. And the opposition, the chairman of the Commerce Committee, said, everybody, there's a room full of people in opposition, go outside and pick 3 people, and that's all you get. Whereas everybody else got to speak for it, so that's how that one went.
And this may be out of sorts or out of turn, and I know I mentioned vaguely our website earlier, or like our social media earlier. Like when something like this happens, would it be inappropriate to like put that out there, like things to know, like happening right now? In legislation, they are trying to reduce our hours to 1,000 hours. Like, email your senators, like everybody, like spread the word, like reach out to your senator, to your representative. Like, wouldn't that be a way to reach more people? We have those tools, and can we not do that?
Are the bills linked to the website? I don't know.
No.
Our website is
Stars.
There's an area of an opportunity.
area and opportunity that I wasn't gonna, I mean, it's something that we need to discuss, but there are like other things that are more important, I'm sure, than our website right now. But that is something that I feel like, if that's appropriate for the board or state board to do, I mean, that's a way to get that out there, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that aren't even aware that it's happening. I mean, I know we kind of went through something similar last year, and a lot of people did not know it was even before
Yeah, that is an initiative that we need to work on.
And
is
we do need to talk about it
communication,
way more, but
website,
for
yes.
right now, like before the next couple of weeks, could we get like that put to our website, like get that out?
I've gotten emails from PBA for signing petitions for other states, but I've not ever seen one from Louisiana. Do we know?
AACS is one that has been very diligent with this. Even Pivot Point has been extremely diligent with it, but
Mm-hmm.
I did see information from PBA that went to several representatives. and so I was copied on that. I can ask more questions about that.
Is there a place on the website to put, to link the bills that affect cosmetology?
Yeah, we
or-
can, we just, on the website, on the page, on the front page,
There's old stuff on the front page
there will be
now
there,
that needs to
well,
be
we can
taken
put
down.
new stuff up.
Well, it's the first place people are gonna go to look if they look in for an update on something, and there's a lot of people very interested right now in what's happening in our industry, so if we could just be a little bit more informative to the people that are our licensees, school owners and salon owners, I think it would be a great way for us to all communicate and then reach out to one another after